Evet, Sanal Türk Yıldızları tak öncesi motor kontrolleri. Bir normal.
2 normal. 3 normal. 4 normal. 5 normal.
7 normal.
8 normal.
Kanopiler şimdi.
Welcome now, Europa! Welcome to the Friendship Flight, hosted by the Virtual Turkish Stars and Virtual Team 60. Today's program, much like our recent collaboration with the Virtual Patron Swiss, will kick off with a display by our stars. Following that, Virtual Team 60 will take the stage with a performance unlike anything you've seen on the screens before. And of course, we've saved the joint formation flights for the very end, a special treat for those of you patient enough to stick around until the final. Don't miss this visual feast brought to you by a team connecting from various corners of Turkey and Sweden. Find a comfortable spot for the next hour and enjoy the spectacle. By the way, I'm Ashil Arıkan, the 2026 season commentator for the Virtual Turkish Stars. Joining me is a familiar face from our past broadcasts, our cameraman and production manager, Deliberator. Deli, say hello to our excited audience. Oh, thank you, Deli. To be honest, the guy you mentioned earlier is going to be a surprise, but we are also joined today by the Olympian god, son of Zeus, brother of Artemis, and the master of light, but most importantly, the commentator for Virtual Team 60, Apollo!
Hey, merhaba everybody, and hola if you're Spanish. Hello there everybody, thank you for letting me in here. It's gonna be a great evening, and also nice to be chatting with you the whole evening here, Achilles. Oh, sorry, brother.
So,
all right.
yeah.
So I'm very excited to be here. I'm actually a virgin, and I'm a virgin to these kind of events because this is my first speaker event for the Virtual Team 60. So I'm very excited to not screw up. So let's get on with the show.
I mean, like, we only met we know each other like for 2 days, but you weren't funny that much that yesterday.
Well, I had to work the day after, so I'm a bit more fun today, I guess. I don't know. Let's just scratch that. As long as we're happy and doing this show today. I mean, your aircraft is looking great. Your number one aircraft that has some beautiful flag there in the front. I really like that. That's nice.
Yeah, that's the surprise we did for you guys. And to be honest, your aircraft also looks great. It's like a business jet, but in a fighter mode.
Yeah, well, it's I can tell you the story of the aircraft. It is actually a made to be a school flight aircraft, a trainee flight, and it was one thing they wanted. They wanted the teacher to sit next to the student, so they can slap the student on their helmet if they did something wrong. Anyway, just to see how they did the maneuvers in the cockpit and all that. So this is side-by-side trainee aircraft from the 60s, yeah. And it's been flying in the Swedish Air Force until last year ago, and it's been a remarkable good aircraft.
Yeah, and they also look similar to the Cessna T-37 Bird.
Yeah, it does. I actually have a lot of features. It does not also have a afterburner, and the engine is a bit underpowered. Anyway, the first Swedish Air Force version was the export version going to Austria, the Saab 105 OE. They had a General Electric J85 engine, so that was much more punch of it. But this one is a turbo mecha, the same as a Cessna Citation, not so much. But I'm curious about your aircraft, the NF5A and B.
Yeah, the NF5A and B, they're actually the variants of variants. Like, they're not built to do some job about Virtual Turkish Stars, or Turkish Stars, I mean. Like, they're fighter jets, they born as fighter jets in US. They have been built from Northrop Grumman as F5s. Then they get an upgrade on Canada as Canadair CF5s, and after that they've been transferred to Netherlands. Yeah, that's why they have the N on the beginning of their name. That's how the NF name brought from
8 hazır.
different countries. Like, they're built for the Dutch Air Force, the Royal Dutch Air Force, and after being NF5s, they switched back to our beautiful homeland, which is Turkey. We have two variants of them, the A and the B. The A variants, as you can clearly see, is the single-seater, and the B version is the two-seater version. The two-seater version allows us to have special guests on the back cockpit, also 3D pilots, and actually commanders in the real life, also photographers. They're so powerful and probably the most suitable aircraft for aerobatics as technical capabilities and design facts, and they have an amazing livery, as you can clearly see.
Yeah, they look awesome, and you guys did a perfect job with deliveries. I haven't seen this in real life, of course, but they look so pristine and clean, and looks like the real deal. I mean, well done there for the deliveries. And the F5s in general, flying them in DCS, they're pretty fun to fly. I really like them. It's a great airplane. So yeah, I'm looking forward for the show.
Yes, me too. Now we have an advantage of not seeing each other's flight for many times before. Like, it's gonna be a surprise for each other. Like, you're gonna tell me, how did you like this maneuver? Did you like it or not? And I'm gonna comment it, and I will be doing the same if it's okay for you.
Sure.
And unfortunately, we aren't fielding 8 jets today, but we do have our 7 shining stars. Or number 1, Vector, Virtual Turkish Stars, formation leader. Number 2, Apex, Virtual Turkish Stars, right inner wing pilot. Number 3, Khazar, Virtual Turkish Stars, left inner wing pilot. And number 4, Goofy, Virtual Turkish Stars, solo pilot. Number 5, Be Cool, Virtual Turkish Stars, first solo. Number 6, Headbang, Virtual Turkish Stars, second solo. And finally, number 7, Viper Up, Virtual Turkish Stars, solo leader. And as Team 60 pilots, we have...
As lead, Redmaker, and he's also one of the creator of the mod flying around. And as the number 2, Bulletproof, he's flying right echelon in the information. And number 3, we got another version, and that is Frefe. He's flying on the left echelon. And as number 4, we have Bobcat. He's flying the slot formation, behind the lead. And as number 5, we have Teabag, flying the left outer echelon. And number 6, he's flying the right outer right echelon. And number 5 and 6, they will do a little bit of solo treat for you in the end of our display. And in the biggest display, they will have their own numbers doing their own stunts. But today, they will join the formation and have just one bit of a teaser for you in the end.
I'm really looking forward to see them as well. I'm really excited for them.
Yeah, this is gonna be great.
So thank you, Apollo. Let's also mention that we have some fresh blood in the formations today. Both teams are fielding student pilots who are incredibly eager to perform from our side. The stars we have number 2 Apex and number 3 Khazar. We wish them a successful and enjoyable flight. Meanwhile, representing Team 60, number 3 Frefe is the newest student joining the Swedish lineup.
8.
That's right. and by the looks of them from the get-go, it looks like they're doing pretty great as first-timer. So let's let's just hope that I do as well.
Yeah, same here. Is this the first time you're contributing like a display with another commentator narrating with you?
Well, not really. I've been doing a couple of things for my community, and that's been the Master Arms. That's my Swedish community where we fly DCS. We had a virtual air show, and then I've been doing some live air show commentating as well. So that's kind of fun.
You're probably more experienced than compared to me.
Well, I'm an old fuck. Can you say fuck? Then so that's probably why. In our previous collaboration with Virtual Swiss, the silhouettes in the sky were nearly identical. Like the NF5s and the F5E Tigers. But today, our guests bring a very distinct look to the formation. I like to highlight that their team leader, Breadmaker, really earned his nickname by crafting the dough himself. He developed the SK60 asset that the team is using today. Powered by two turbofan engines, RM15 in the Swedish version, the SK60 is a true multi-role platform used for pilot training, as Apollo mentioned before, light ground attack and reconnaissance and liaison. Despite its sturdy look, it is highly maneuverable, making it a perfect choice for formation aerobatics, but they're a little bit slow, which will make our pilot's job a little hard, I assume. Well, you have to work with energy management more than anything else if you're flying a low-powered aircraft. But take a look at you guys here doing the first overhead run, and a very nice loop over here. You guys really nailing the stations here. This is awesome. This is real great. Thank you. That's the wide wing flyover and the loop for our show beginnings. We first did this maneuver on the Virtual International Air Festival 2025. Before that, we were starting our displays with the A-wing formation passage, which will be occurring in a minute. From your left. So yeah, we can also hear our pilots communicate with their radios. Also, we got how many of them? I don't know. 6? Yep, we got 6 aircraft waiting on the ground, 6 Lions waiting to roar. I'm so excited for them. Yeah, well, the roar is not really a roar. In Sweden, when they were flying, they sounded like a vacuum cleaner. So when you heard 2 vacuum cleaners, you knew that there was a 2-ship SK60 coming in low level, flying from over the treetops. And that's adorable. Yeah, it is adorable. They really sounded like vacuum cleaners. Before the flight and briefing, one of your pilots, I think number 5, mentioned that your team's aircraft is using the same engine as Cessna Citation 2s do. That's true. It's the Turbo Mecha engine, a French aircraft engine that's also used in Cessna Citation, well, one of the earlier models. Anyway, so yeah, it's a pretty low-powered engine. However, look at that flank change there on the guys. Our pyramid. That's great. Is that the Alpha? Yep, it's the Alpha. And nice. Usually, we do have a solo cutting them from the opposite direction, coming from the opposite direction, and now they're switching back to Delta to perform the Delta loop coming from the right. No, not the loop, I mean the passage. All right. Well, that looks very great. You were mentioned before that your last stream was with your guys, the Virtual Turkish Stars and the Patrol Swiss virtual team, and I saw that video, and it was a lot of white and red on that video, so it's a bit hard to figure out who was who when they did the big formation. but I guess we'll have a bit easier today, because the SK60 is a aircraft made for not only training but also light attack. So they were painted green to be like a camouflage, and they're flying low level and hitting soft targets, as it's called, with rockets and gun pods. So yeah, my brother actually flew as a navigator in that for about 5 years.
Don't joke to me.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And I sort of love my brother, but I don't. Well, I envy him, of course. But then he upped the ante. Now he's been flying the Vegan and Gripen as well. But this is not about him. Okay, let's drop that subject.
To be honest, this aircraft doesn't look ugly. Who says the aircraft is ugly? I can fight them.
Well, they do not look ugly, nor the F5. F5 looks perfect. Looks like a sword handle almost.
No.
However, the SK60, I think they look mean with the wings like tilted down. You will see that later in the show. They look sort of like, here I come, watch out. So yeah, I think they look kind of mean actually.
Yep, and while we're talking, the Stars are currently on the wing formation chains and they're doing a 360. They're now currently on the Scorpion formation. As you can see, numbers 2 and 3 are flying line numbers to their leader just to represent the claws of a Scorpion.
That sounds, oh, that looks really great. Yeah. Excellent positioning holding there for them. Nice. Hey, can you tell about when your team started flying? What was that?
Yep. Our team, the Turkish team, started flying in 2018. They actually get the flag from the Dutch crew. The first Virtual Turkish Stars started flying in 2009 using the predecessor simulator of DCS, which is Lock-On Flaming Cliffs. They are Dutch, which is ironic because the aircraft is also Dutch, like NF5s. They flew from 2009 to 2014. They stopped their flights, their shows in 2014, and after that, for 4 years, no flights or streams have occurred until the Turkish people get the chance of taking the team for Neat Page.
All right. Yeah. Well, I was just about to comment that thing that they took over the virtual airframes from the Dutch team. Oh, that's super hilarious.
And also, I see there we had a burst strike for one of our numbers.
Yeah, I saw that. We got one drop out. I don't know why and how.
Yeah,
that happens.
I know who it is, and I know why did that happen. You know, in the real world, you don't have issues like connection problems or electricity breakouts. Yeah, you have a risk for like your life. It's so hard to fly in real life. Your sweat, your blood, your tears are scrambling around. But in the virtual world, the biggest disadvantage we have is connection problems. In real life, at least, you don't have those.
Well, that's true. Well, you can have a connection problem if you black out.
Yeah, I forgot that.
But true, that's right. And I mean, flying also in real life, you also have the feel, like the gravity stuff, and you can feel if something is moving with your like the seat of your pants and your movements and all that. So that's also an advantage flying in real time. However, I guess the frame rate in some of these systems are better than we get in our brains. But let's not get technical.
Even in the passenger aircraft, we do have those effects, mostly on the takeoff. I call it the elevator effect. Like it's like an elevator going up really fast. You're feeling something like that, like a little G-force.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that.
And I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
We talked this before, I guess, but what's the meaning of light net typed on the top of your aircraft, the wings?
Flygvapnet. Well, that is Swedish for Air Force. So it's that's what it is.
Oh yeah, we got translations on the both sides of aircraft. As you can see, our aircraft has one side Turkish and the other side is English, just like commercial civil aircrafts. On the one side it says Turkish Air Force and Turkish Stars, and on the other side it is the Turkish versions of them. So maybe you guys can English version as Air Force, Swedish Air Force. Just kidding.
Maybe. Well, I'm trying to read it, but they're currently in a loop. I'm reading upside down, but it sounds like Türk.
Yıldızları.
I go with the other side. Turkish Stars. There you go.
Yeah, Türk Hava Kuvvetleri, which means Turkish Air Force, and Türk Yıldızları means Turkish Stars. And here we are. We're done with our own display, concluding the wide wing flyover, a passage, delta passage, high performance turn, delta barrel roll, and loop and bomb roast.
That's great. Yeah, it was excellent, and the breakup in the end that was looks fabulous. Looks really great. And the Team 60 is now closing canopies together to get ready for taxi out while your team is landing. And the SK60, the SK is actually called Saab 105, but in Swedish Air Force it's called SK60, and SK stands for school, like in Swedish school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's called SK60. And 60 is just the number of the aircraft designation, like you have the Saab 37 Viggen, that's number 37, so 60 is like that number. So that's why it's called Team 60. So it's because of the SK60 name. Yeah, you know that.
Like Team 60, they're the supporters of these aircraft. Go, Team 60, go!
Sort of, yeah. We should have cheerleaders as well. Why don't we have cheerleaders?
I don't know, but
I guess they're not playing virtual games. I don't know. Hey, virtual cheerleaders, is that a thing? Okay, let me drop that subject too. Okay.
Oh, I actually want to talk about the landing gears of the aircraft. They look huge, like this aircraft can do off-road things maybe.
Well, the aircraft is small, and when you sit in the aircraft, I actually been flying this one for real a few times, and it feels like you're pretty close to the ground. So it kind of looks big, but the aircraft is kind of small, so it's actually maybe a trick of the eye. However, it's made for landing in rough conditions and flying on road bases as well, as we have in Sweden, as well as we had for many decades. So they're made to be robust and also handle students landing poorly.
So yeah, they're gonna be taking off, and we might want to have a little ATC service in here because it's gonna be crowded soon. While the stars are landing, your team is taking off. Oh, there we have the beacon light on the leader's aircraft.
Yep. Let's see here. They'll hold short for the runway for the other guys to land, I guess.
Yep, they're doing that, and our number 4, Goofy Goof, is currently on the touchdown.
Right.
There you go.
Short pilot.
And, you know, we have a very fast jet that has to flare a lot to slow down, just like the F-16.
That's true, but do you use the, as the Norwegians have, they have a parachute, like a drag chute?
Yeah, they also got the parachute, but they don't use it frequently.
All right.
But the Solar Turk, which is a demo team in Turkey with F-16, uses it a lot.
All right, yeah, because stopping is is important if you're gonna have a short runway. And in Sweden, with the road bases, these aircrafts are made to be able to land on shorter runways. Well, especially our fighters, which we had, and the SK60s is. I guess they need a bit of longer runway than the Viggen and Gripen uses, but otherwise it's doesn't really need that long runway, as you can see when it will take off later on.
Yep, we will be seeing that also. Yeah, you guys have road bases in Sweden, which we don't have. I'm really curious about them. Can they handle like big aircraft like C-130s, like Eurofighters, or I don't know?
Yeah, well, our fighters for sure. And we use the normal Swedish roads for like a straight road for about 800 meters or 1,000 meters. That's enough for having a road base for the Swedish fighters. However, next to that, it's usually a bigger runway somewhere in the forest where we can take down the C-130 and other transport aircraft if we need to be. So, and during back in the Cold War, we had a lot of these bases scattered all over Sweden, and that was our defense. If some baddies come to Sweden and want to bomb our air forces, we're scattered out across the Sweden. So yeah, we had a lot of road bases.
That's nice to hear, but they're not frequent anymore, I assume. You're now using airfields, like usual airfields.
Virtual Team 60.
Well, we use a lot of stuff. I don't think I should tell any details here. However, we still use road bases, and we still can land on roads. We do that in the Swedish Air Force for sure. So yeah. Here we go.
Also, yeah, here we go. Can you also tell me the coordinates of those bases?
Let's talk later. Nah, well, no, never. However, since we are fighting on the same side here, just talk to your commander.
Yeah, well, maybe we can. I'm just kidding. Look how awesome you guys are taking off. Like, the view is also amazing, but the aircraft, that's phenomenal. Oh, the bottom of the aircraft looks amazing as well. Yellow and blue, I like it. And also it's the colors of your flag. Sweden.
Yeah, that's right. And these markings below the aircraft, the blue one and the yellow and blue markings, was especially for the display team. Otherwise, there would be silver colored below and green from above. And the orange markings on the tail plane is actually for flying when you're flying in winter conditions. You can't really see stuff if they're green because there's so much woods up in the northern part. So you wanted to have some kind of day glow to be able to see them. Also, if there were a lot of snow, you want to see where the aircraft is.
Yeah. Also, they have different numbers on their engines, like 139, 33, 96. Is that the board number of the aircraft, like the tail registration?
That's correct. That's the tail registration for F5 wing, and the F5 wing was the training wing in southern part of Sweden, where these were based and did the training. And the real pilots here was actually the instructors for the students, for the fighter pilots to be. And in their lunch break or in their free time, they did some practice runs to do this display team. So that's the story of that. And these numbers is actually the correct number which they used in the days with these aircraft. So this should be historically correct.
The Brademaker did a really good job, both in modeling and delivery making.
Yeah, well, that's Brademaker and his team doing this aircraft is really great. What we just saw here, they are flying the pyramid formation. They're doing a right chandelier and coming in for a loop.
Of that dial. I'm watching it like with holding my breath.
Yeah, well, Don't hold your breath too long, because I don't think I can talk the whole show by myself.
Yeah, but the aircraft is so maneuverable, like it can turn so steeply. Here they go.
Here they
Wow.
go, yeah. And they are very maneuverable. They have the roll rate is great. That's sort of why they had to tint down the wings, lower the wings a little bit to get it more stable, because it was so agile. So it's a really, really great airplane for doing aerobatics and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. In both guys, I was expecting them to like bump into the terrain. They're going like... We're not doing that in Virtual Turkish Stars.
Well,
That's so scary.
Yeah, but it is scary. And these guys, the pilots in Sweden, were flying low level, so they're used to flying close to the ground. And then now switch formation from the pyramid to the ruby, coming in for a passage in ruby formation.
Yep, and the smoke they throw into the sky looks just like a swan because of their turn rate, I assume.
Yeah, well, we're gonna perform the spawn maneuver later on. Well, shortly anyway. So yeah, so you're gonna see that as well.
So I brought the surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, don't worry. So there was 150 of these in the Swedish Air Force, and we got, I think it was about 40 of them exported to Austria. So they were only Austria and Sweden flying these.
Like, it's a sweet aircraft, but the best part of it is that it's made in Sweden. Like, it's a national aircraft of yours. Building your own aircraft is another different thing.
Well, that's true, and the SK60 is a product from Saab, so they did that, and they've been building a lot of different models over the years, as many of you are aware of. We got from early fighter bombers and fighters like the prop ones
Even passenger aircraft.
Say again?
Even passenger aircraft, the Saab.
Oh yeah, the Saab 91, yeah. The Saab 90, Saab 90 Scania, and the Saab Fairchild 340, yeah. So now they're switching over to the the big arrow, they wanted me to call it. So this is the big arrow formation, yeah.
It really looks like an arrow.
Well, eventually. And you know what? The SK60, all the aircraft that were built in Sweden got nicknames, like the barrel looked like a flying barrel. You got the Drak, and it looks like a kite or a dragon, depending on your imagination. This one got the name foil, which means like the sword you're fencing with, but with a tip that doesn't hurt anyone.
Oh, like a training sword.
Yeah, exactly, because it's a training aircraft, and all the engineers thought that was cute, and the fighter pilots never used it, so it was never called foil or floret in Swedish. It was called the SK60. They did not use that.
Only SK60.
Yeah.
Doesn't need a nickname. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't need a nickname because it's cool with SK60. Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's actually...
SK60 is cool enough.
Yeah.
Swan, no.
And here we hear Braidmaker advising the pilots to go into swan formation.
Thanks.
Oh, actually, many formations look similar to our formation that we made on the formation change 360.
Oh yeah.
Hava şimdi.
Oh, and I
Kalabilir şimdi.
the star are going online, back online. Yeah, they're currently taxiing to the runway.
Yeah, that's great. We got a loop coming up here now for a opposite loop towards the airfield. So our static crowd here at Kutaisi Airfield will have a treat coming up shortly.
Here they go.
Here they go up. Airspeed is not great on the top, I tell you.
Yeah, I can like feel it.
Stand by for split.
Man, that's a huge circle.
Split. No.
Woo! That's it! Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they
That's one.
wall break.
Off. No.
I'm making everything into a swan. Like, I think I really want to see a swan.
Well, they're not as nice as they look. Anyway, we got the two guys here, the number 5 Teabag and number 6 Jug, doing a small treat for you, coming in, doing a circuit first around the field and coming in for a
In the center.
and meeting each other low level and take a look close at the aircraft and see what they're doing.
Oh yeah, there they going. What I say in Virtual Turkish Stars is ready now.
And they did an opposite roll, doing you can see that on the smoke. They were doing a roll, yes, meeting each other. So they were, yes, meters apart. That's a great maneuver.
That's good. Yeah, that was great.
So that concludes really the first part of the big display we have trained for this year. So this is concludes the SK60 formation display for you guys, and I guess it will be a form-up.
Yep. It includes the SK60 Team 60 flight, but doesn't conclude our stream because we're not done yet. Our stars are currently taking off, and the Team 60 won't be landing because here we have the final legendary moments before ending the stream.
Fan vad högt det är, Fredrik.
You know what? Yep, both teams have good displays, like great ones, great moves, but watching all of these jets flying on a single formation is amazing. You're gonna see it. You're gonna love it, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward, and I think I mean, you guys, your display was really great. You stick with your positions
As well as
all
yours.
the time. Really nice, fluid display. I really loved it. It's great.
I want to tell the same for also your team. Your aircraft is looking awesome. Your pilots are very talented. They're flying so close to each other. Like with the slow aircraft, it's even harder to stay in a formation. Like you need to manage your power so much compared to a jet like an F5.
Well, that's I know, and I think they're great pilots, and I mean the display was chosen to be like it is, because this is a copy of the display the real team did, just because the engines are a bit underpowered, so they need to use, you know, kinetic energy to use its, you know, the best way to make a good display. So there's some long maneuvers, and then there's not much vertical maneuvers, but enough to do an impression, I guess.
Yep. Now this Team 60 is just above our stars. I can see them on the same perspective. Yeah, because our cameraman also showing it. I was not watching the stream, but yeah, Delhi knows what he's doing. The pilots are, of course, talented, but without a cameraman and the production manager like Delhi, it's not a fun watch to have. Yeah,
Well,
here, Matt Delhi.
Hey, Deli. You're doing a great job. I am. I want. How much do you cost? I want to use your service.
He's not
My
for
costs
sale.
are not cheap, but of course I'm willing to.
Süratim 280.
Okay, let's. We gotta talk. We gotta talk.
Let's go for it, guys. Let's
Yeah,
keep
because you guys,
Yeah.
because you
Well,
guys are using euros compared to
no,
Turkish stars.
we're using IKEA gift cards.
Yes, please. I can have a use for
Virtual
them.
Team 60, we are about
yeah, okay.
1.5 miles behind you. Closing in to rejoin.
Oh yeah, IKEA gift cards are probably better than... Anyways, I'm not gonna talk about it. But it's no better than the Virtual Turkish Stars joining the formation of Team 60.
Yeah, it's gotta be nice to see this formation join up. And I was working at an air show, real life, and there was I was in the tower, and I was wondering what one of the guys were. So I didn't really see where he was, but he was out of the traffic pattern. But he was supposed to be somewhere at my 2 o'clock position, but I couldn't see him. So I told him to rock his wing, and he said, no, I'll do something better. And he put on his smoke and off the smoke 2-3 times, so I saw like dot 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 in the sky. So I knew exactly where he was, and I thought that was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And our stars are chasing the smoke. Oh, Team 60 as the pilot pick for you. Like, he made you chase his own smoke for being visual.
Yeah, and that's if you're chasing your own smoke, you're doing a great level turn there.
I think controlling the traffic in a air show is one of the best experiences you can have as a human.
Well, it's great, and it's a bit different from controlling a normal airport or a military airport because everything is planned and nobody should else be there than the display team flying. So usually it's just them doing the shows. You don't have to separate. You just have to coordinate, with the display leader about which timing and stuff like that. So yeah.
Clear to rejoin.
Yeah.
Hava freni şimdi.
And despite the aircraft of the Swedish Air Force,
Türk Yıldızları.
which is
Misafirlerimiz önümüzde. Kola katılım serbest.
also, I forgot, yep, which is also the Flugwappnet is slow. Our stars are struggling to get into the formation because they're also flying slow. How ironic.
All right.
Report is ready.
Yep, they will be with us just in a minute. They're here. They're here with your guy.
It looked like, I don't know if it's a visual thing, it looked like number 5 in SK6 team has his flap out. Maybe that, I guess he's fighting like a maniac towards that. Or if it's just the DCS sync failure, then probably no worries.
Yeah, I saw the SK60 is opening their flaps, flying with their flaps because I think they do need. But yeah, who is this guy on the behind? He's now a little upset with the NF5B going in to his formation.
Look at that. Joining up.
He's
This is
jogged.
great.
Yep. Now we are a team. Now we're done. We're complete.
This is beautiful.
Volkov.
I want to ask you a question, Apollo.
Go.
Sir, if you're gonna set a team having both SK60s and NF5s like that, like different colors, different nations, what would you call it as name of the team?
Well, we gotta have the stars. And
And maybe the what did you told me before about the SK60's nickname?
foil.
Yeah, the foil.
Virtual foil stars.
Yeah, foil star, or maybe the star foils.
The star foils. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we got the starfoils.
Yeah, we got the starfoil formation coming from your left. Wow, in the patrol search event, we're struggling to count the aircrafts, and we're now in the same trouble. I mean, how many we do have here? 7 plus 6, yeah.
Well, that's a little bit more than 12, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit more than 12. And a little bit less from 40.
Yep.
Actually, 13 is the unlucky number here in Turkey.
Yeah, let's not talk about it until after they land, okay?
Because we had a bird strike while
Yeah, we
the
did,
Turkish Stars are performing.
But then they were 14, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But is he back, the bird strike guy?
Yep, he's back on the
Oh,
formation.
yeah. Okay. So my bad.
Because here in Turkey, you can have electricity breakouts anytime, and you can have them back in seconds. That's technology.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, not in both ways, but that's amazing that you can have it. Yep, there we have the smokes. But in white and red.
Nice.
Tänk på brandtreten, Fredrik.
By the way, Frefe is doing a great job flying for the first time.
Really great. Yeah. Jeff and I, we've been flying together, well, also Breadmaker and some of the other guys, I guess, in Master Arms, and I know Frefe is a Greek pilot, so yeah, I'm not surprised, but don't tell him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell him, man. I think he's not gonna watch that.
Oh, look at that. Super nice formation by you guys and the SK60 team. Nice.
Smoke off.
And a great cameraman as well. This is very steady on the hand.
Turkish Stars clear to leave formation.
Understood.
Oh yeah, now the stars are leaving the formation as they get the clearance from your leader.
Delta'da benim konuma geleceksiniz. Önünüzde alçalın.
Our teams may look different, but they're actually similar to each other. They both have aircraft that is being made by their own leaders for their usage. Like Redmaker made the SK60, and as I told you, the NF5s were made by Leica Simulations, which is managed by our leader, Vector, #1.
Right, that's cool. Great job there, Vector.
Yep, that's how he can make the animations for the Swedish flag on the beginning as a surprise for you.
Yeah, I saw that. I got a couple of screenshots there. I'm very happy about that. Great. That was great.
Yeah, oh yeah, now the SK60 will join the formation, the wing of the star, I guess.
Oh yeah. Let the underpowered guys try to catch up.
It can be easier to stay in formation with NF5s because you're slower, and if the NF5 stays slow, for sure.
Yeah. Well, the SK60, they got an upgrade in the 90s, and they got a new engine, a Rolls-Royce Williams, the FJ44, and
What a cool name for an engine.
Yeah, it is, and it's called RM15 in Sweden. Anyway, it got very much better, speed and handling and power, so you can, and also fuel efficiency was better with that upgrade. So the new ones, the Williams engines, really did the Saab 105, the SK60. Come to life, really. So yeah, that was great. But these guys do not. This is the classic RM9 Turbomech engines.
Yep, it's the original one. It's the original KCUK.
The OG. And as you can see, if you look in the cockpit there, you can see there not all of the instruments are, or maybe none, are really working yet. However, they got the the round dials and the old style 60s instrumentations in aircraft. Yeah.
You are currently right.
I see them while they're on the ground. They look like a general aviation cockpit. The cockpit of the aircraft.
Sağdan yatışa başlıyorum.
Yeah, it sort of is, and but it's you really don't look in the aircraft as much. Well, when you're flying IFR, you do, I guess. However, otherwise you're flying on the leader and you're looking out, because this is sort of a good weather aircraft, I would say, because you're flying navigations and low-level attacks. You really need to look out. So yeah.
Does it have any IFR instruments in it?
Oh yeah, they had I shouldn't be that certain. They had an NDB, and the newer updated ones had better instruments. They had the ILS as well. So yeah. Otherwise, we used the precision approach radar in Sweden to get these babies down if it was bad weather and if they didn't have any other landing equipment or instruments on the airfield.
Yeah. So, auto landing an SK-60, man, that's something different.
Yeah, well, since you, as I told you in the beginning, it's a small aircraft and you're sitting very close to the ground when you're landing, so it feels like you're gonna have a concrete runway shoved up your ass when you're landing.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, NF5s are a little low to the ground as well. Not like an F-16, but it's more lower compared to usual fighter jet. Actually, many differences stand out for the NF5s, like they are not good at flying at low speeds. They're trying their best currently. The aircraft is probably struggling and shaking inside. I mean, the pilots are probably like going mad with shaking in their seats.
I can see they have the air brakes out as well. A short while there. There is an air brake on the SK-60 as well. It falls out on the side of the lower body. I guess you won't be seeing them today.
Also, the NF5s have been so many through updates. Like, they are not suitable for aerobatics. I told you in the beginning. Yep, they actually are suitable for like aerobatics, but with their weapon mountainings, like weapon systems, radar systems, the thing is making the aircraft heavy. Anything that avoids the aircraft's aerobatic suitability has been removed, and the NF5 variant for the Virtual Turkish Stars, I mean the Turkish Star, sorry.
Yeah.
Hava freni.
Also, we had our retro liveries
Hava freni içeride şimdi.
back in a month ago. We're switching our liveries very frequently, like we're doing one show with the retro livery and the other one with the current one, which is the modern one. And they're now coming from the right. I want to get your attention for our right, as Delhi is showing them in a beautiful scene. That's it. That is really it.
Oh, that's great.
That's some lines trying to chase a couple of, I don't know, maybe wolves.
All right. Yeah, well, they got the formation. Looks great. Stable flight. Looked awesome. One of our guys there trying to chase up. However, being on the outer turn with a lower power engine, the aircraft is not that easy. But I guess they did good. Looks great.
Yep. And for the final roll, I'm very excited because I know what they did. Your friendship flight with Petrol Twist.
Delta şimdi.
I'm excited as hell, to be honest.
Well, let's see what they're up for.
Yep, they switched back to Delta.
Yatış altı.
The SK-60 is flying the pyramid formation.
Comfy one?
I guess. I don't know. I think they're sweating their asses off under their
Yeah.
right now.
I mean, I also mentioned this on the other friendship flight, but flying in a formation with many other aircraft that you've never been flying before is really hard. Like, I can feel it. Like, you're not watching your leader, but a leader abroad, a leader that you don't know. Actually, you're watching your leader, and your leader is watching another aircraft's movement, and the aircraft that is being followed by your leader is also following his own leader.
Yatışımı alıyorum.
So it's complicated, in short.
It is complicated, and I mean, it's a part of a trust game because you have to trust your wingman and your lead and everything. And here we're flying together in this beautiful evening at Kutaisi Airport. We're trusting each other and having fun. I really like this friendship flight.
Yeah, me too. I really had so much fun. Not only commentating the show, but also watching as a viewer and chatting with you here. So thank you so much for being with us here, and you know who they are. On the first place, we got the Virtual Turkish Stars and Apollo. Who we got on second?
Here they go. Very nice breakup from them, and here comes the SK60 virtual team, led by Breadmaker. Let's see them do a split, I guess.
Nej, ni fortsätter rakt ut i banan.
Yep. Here we have the SK60, and the word is yours, Apollo.
Well, what can I say? Look how mean they look with their hanging wings, and there comes the break. Look at that.
Yeah! We had the double expansion. That's how we do our final. So we're taking
Nice.
every pilot flow together in today's flight. We thank, we're very grateful to the Virtual Team 60, our friends from Sweden. They be our guests today.
Thank you.
That was a lovely fight, and thank you, Apollo, for being with me, narrating the show today, and your words for the final.
Yeah, well, okay. Thank you very much for inviting us. It's been a great friendship flight, and from I would say from the team, Breadmaker and the guys really like to be here, and I did too. I had a great time, and I guess we will do this another time again. I hope so. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you very much.
So, see you in our next shows. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Hey,